Buckle up, because today we're going to hit the gas and speed into the high-octane drama brewing behind the scenes of the Fast and Furious franchise. We all know that when it comes to action-packed blockbusters, few can compete with the adrenaline-fueled antics of Dom and his crew. But what happens when a new face threatens to steal the spotlight from the OG cast? That's right. Today, we're exposing the real reason the Fast and Furious cast hate Jason Momoa. First, let's take a little look at the history of Fast and Furious and see what's at stake for this cast and exactly why they're so protective. From its humble beginnings as a high-speed street racing flick, the Fast and Furious series has taken us on a wild ride over the years. With the first film, released back in 2001, audiences were captivated by the thrilling mix of fast cars, high stakes, insane effects, and, of course, an unbreakable bond between the main characters. As the franchise grew, so did the scale of its stories and its fan base. Box office records were shattered, and the films became synonymous with non-stop action and gravity-defying stunts while still maintaining a family-first mentality. But what really set the Fast and Furious franchise apart from its competitors was its ability to keep audiences hooked film after film. We've seen the crew take on everything, from drug lords to cyber terrorists, all while keeping their loyalty to each other front and center. This unbreakable bond is what has kept fans coming back for more, eagerly awaiting the next installment in the franchise. But in 2013, there was an irreplaceable tear made in the family fold. The tragic loss of Paul Walker sent shockwaves through the Fast and Furious family and its dedicated fan base. As Brian O'Connor, Walker played an integral role in the franchise, and his passing left a void that could never truly be filled. The cast, crew, and fans alike mourned the loss of a beloved brother, and the franchise would never be the same. The filmmakers, however, were determined to honor Paul Walker's memory by continuing the story and keeping the Fast and Furious family alive. The series pushed forward, but the absence of Brian O'Connor was always felt, both on screen and off. The remaining cast members rallied together, determined to keep the spirit of their fallen brother alive in both the films and in their hearts. With 10 main films, the Fast and Furious franchise has solidified its place in adrenaline-pumping cinematic history. Over the years, we've seen the cast grow into a tight-knit family, both on and off the screen. The bond between the actors is palpable, and their real-life camaraderie has only made the on-screen relationships that much more believable. Vin Diesel, Michelle Rodriguez, Tyrese Gibson, Ludacris, Jordana Brewster, and the rest of the crew have become a well-oiled machine, pun intended, both on set and in the characters they portray. These actors have spent countless hours together, forging friendships that have stood the test of time. This close-knit family dynamic has become the cornerstone of the Fast and Furious franchise. Enter Jason Momoa, the actor that might just change up the entire dynamic. Jason Momoa's meteoric rise to fame has been nothing short of remarkable. From his breakout role as Khal Drogo in Game of Thrones to becoming the face of DC's Aquaman, Momoa has quickly become a household name, especially in action-packed films and series. With his undeniable charm and charisma, and his clear ability to hold his own in action dramas, it seems as if it was only a matter of time before he found his way into the Fast and Furious universe. As the villain in Fast X, Jason Momoa brought his A-game, thrilling fans and critics alike with his quirky and clever performance. The addition of Momoa to the cast was a serious marketing dream, bringing in new fans who might never have considered watching a Fast and Furious film before. In many ways, it could be argued that Momoa's fame now eclipses that of the original Fast and Furious crew. While Jason Momoa's performance in Fast X was undoubtedly a hit, it's hard to ignore the potential jealousy brewing amongst the original cast. After years of working tirelessly to build the franchise into the juggernaut it is today, seeing Momoa steal the spotlight, well, it must have been a pretty hard pill to swallow. Fans and critics alike flocked to theaters to see Momoa's performance, with some even suggesting that the most recent film's success hinged on his involvement. This shift in focus is bound to have left the original cast feeling somewhat sidelined as they watched their beloved franchise become more about Momoa's star power than the franchise and family they had worked so hard to create. And with the possibility of Jason Momoa returning for future films, the cast may feel like they're being pushed aside in favor of a new, more marketable face. Momoa's casting in Fast X indeed breathed new life into the franchise, which was at risk of fading into obscurity. As a fresh face with a loyal fan base, Momoa provided the series with a much-needed boost and helped maintain its relevance in an ever-changing entertainment landscape. After all, we can't drive on the same old boring roads forever. The franchise has always been known for its incredible stunts and high-octane action, but with each new installment, it has become increasingly difficult to keep the audience engaged. Momoa's inclusion in Fast X brought a unique and even eccentric energy, as well as charisma to the table, ensuring that the film remained exciting and captivating. Momoa's portrayal of Dante, the new antagonist, also gave the series a fresh and intriguing storyline, allowing the franchise to explore new territory and create more depth in its characters. This revitalization of the series not only kept fans interested, but also attracted a new wave of viewers, ensuring the continued success of the Fast and Furious franchise. Sorry, Vin, but sometimes an old rusty car needs a fresh paint job. Instead of harboring resentment towards Jason Momoa, the Fast and Furious cast should indeed be showing gratitude to him for reinvigorating the franchise and ensuring its continued success. Momoa's undeniable talent and appeal have played a large role in breathing fresh life into the series and maintaining its position at the forefront of action cinema. Speaking of, the Fast and Furious family should pay attention to the reactions of its fans, who have expressed their enthusiasm for Jason Momoa's addition to the film. Positive reviews and fan reactions for his portrayal of Dante Reyes can be found on various platforms online. Momoa's entrance into the franchise has not only renewed its lease on life, but also filled the void left by Dwayne Johnson's departure, who was notably absent from Fast X until a mid-credits scene. Speaking of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, that's another Fast and Furious alumni who has some serious beef with Vin, and even publicly stated he would not be returning to the films, all thanks to Vin Diesel. Seriously, Vin, you can't chase off every beefed-up actor that you feel threatened by. So, will Jason Momoa be returning behind the wheel? Well, we certainly think he should. By incorporating Momoa into upcoming films, the Fast and Furious franchise can continue to explore new territory and create more depth in its characters, as seen with Dante Reyes. Fans have expressed their excitement about Momoa's performance and are eagerly awaiting to see what the future holds for his character. Ensuring Momoa's return in future films will not only maintain fan interest, but also provide the franchise with opportunities to develop new storylines and relationships between characters. Heeding the positive reviews and fan reactions will help the cast and filmmakers make strategic decisions for the future of the Fast and Furious series, ultimately keeping the fans happy, the family fed, and the franchise thriving. So this is where we put the video in park. The real reason the Fast and Furious cast hate Jason Momoa boils down to jealousy and the fear of losing their hard-earned spotlight. After years of building the franchise into the powerhouse it is today, it's no surprise that the original cast would feel threatened by Momoa's sudden and overwhelming popularity. At the end of the day, we can only hope that the Fast and Furious family, specifically Mr. Diesel, will find a way to put their differences aside and allow Jason to join their family. Until then, this was the real reason the Fast and Furious cast hate Jason Momoa.